I'm not, go ahead and do what you gotta do, I'll fight you. You know, I never shy away, but this case, it said it's too early in the morning.
Sir, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Roche or Roche? Appearances on the People versus Roche.
Lefty hearing on behalf of people, PA for the other.
Good morning, Judge. Neighborhood Defender Service by Jack with PA 653 on behalf of Mr. Roche. Seated to my left, Mr. Roche, state your name one more time.
Thank you. Are we ready? Call a witness.
15 minutes, person hold.
Understood. On the record.
Well, the people first call, well, actually, Judge, before we start, the people believe that there's going to be testimony elicited to add the addition of 3 additional counts. The first being animal torture in the first degree. Sorry. I'm not sure that's the right title. Yes. Or, I'm sorry, first degree killing or torturing a companion animal. The second is a domestic violence third offense with the other listed complainant, Valerie Duchesne Moore. I think I pronounced that right. And the third additional being interfering with a witness in a criminal case of 10 or more Duchesne.
Okay.
So the first witness we're going to call is Valerie Duchesne Moore.
Ma'am, all the way up front. Yep. Come on up here. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Watch your step on the ramp right here. Settle in that chair. When you're ready, counsel.
So this is recording with doesn't amplify. So you're just gonna have to bring, if you want to move back, bring it as close as you can. And just make sure you're talking right with it so that it can hear you okay. All right, and can you state sign your name for the record?
Yes, my name is Valerie Alice Duchesne Moore, Valerie as in Robert, Alice, last name is hyphenated, Duchesne, Duche, and it's for Nancy, hyphenated Moore, and all R's in Robert, B.
I'll get that. Getting your,
Yep, I got it. Thank you.
so do you know Mr. Sean Roche?
Yes, I mean,
How do you know that individual?
I know him through his story from another and his friend Tara.
Now, does he live with you?
Yes,
How long does he live with?
they lived in September.
Okay. September of what year?
Yes.
So at least 3 months. Do you see him present in the court today?
Yes,
Okay, can you identify him by something he's wearing?
yes, he said,
Noted.
Thank you. Now, was he living there at 11/3/25 at 601 West Maple in Romulus, Michigan?
yes,
And what address is that?
it's in my trailer.
Now, did you live there at that time with Heather and? Now, were you there on that date in the evening?
Yes, I was.
And walk me through what happened then.
I was sleeping and I have a disability and I work on busy and long disease, so I was just letting down, I was tired, and I was sleeping. I woke up to screaming and fighting. My room was on my room down at the low seat and Sean was on top of her on the low seat. I'm smacking her and punching her.
And do you recall about what time this was?
About 8:20,
So in the morning, right?
yes.
Okay. And so what did you do after you saw?
I woke up and I went in there to help the family friend.
And how did you do that?
by trying to pull him off of her. At this point now, as I was going down the hall, he was slapping her back about the throat, sort of choking her. So I tried to pull him off.
Now, you said he's choking her. How does he do? I noticed, I saw your hand
Yes,
outstretched.
literally choking her.
Okay, and for the record, your thumb, well, you're using your left hand and put your thumb on his. Okay,
Right on the trigger, yes.
what happened after that?
I grabbed him to try to pull him off. And he threw, as I was sideways, he threw me over and grabbed me by the throat. So he had both of us by the throat at the same time. She was still punching him, trying to get him off, and I blew him in. I was trying to take him in the nuts, but he kept on blocking it. And at the same time saying, "This is that all you got."
So he's saying that all you got to you.
Right, because he knows I'm sick.
Okay. And now.
Objection, false speculation, Mr. Chair.
Yes,
Stricken. Go ahead.
So now you understand, now I just want to clarify, so you had your two hands up, you're in the right, it's his right hand and back, or.
I'm in his left,
Okay,
she's in his right.
okay. And when you say he's choking you, is it difficult for you to breathe? Do you have any other physical sensations at that time?
Dizziness.
Okay, you were getting dizzy. Okay, what happened after that?
He got up as if he was just getting up and going to bed. As he has in arguments before, but he went into the kitchen. He opened the door, there's the cleaver. Came back into the living room and put it against her mouth.
And who's her?
What?
Who's her? You said her.
Oh, Heather.
Okay. And didn't say anything when you,
That he was gonna kill her. I'm gonna kill you, B. Bitch.
and what did you do after that?
She started fighting them off again, and I somehow got the knife out of his hand, and I'm in the process, cut myself, no big deal. And slid it underneath the love seat, or
No, please, when, how close was the knife to Heather at one point?
it was right beside his throat.
Okay, so I'm gonna hold this kind of, it's about here, so how,
Closer.
was it touching her?
It was not touching her now, that I'm aware of, but it looked an inch away, if that, if it happened.
No, what happened after that?
Like I said, she started trying to fight him off, and I grabbed his hand, got the knife out of his hand, put it underneath the love seat. And at this time, he got up and started tossing my living room, all my decorations, grabbed my kitchen door, and broke it. And then
And what happened after that?
he sat on the back of my dog.
Okay, so your dog, what kind of dog do you have?
He's a German Shepherd.
Where's he when you say sat on your dog?
Yes, well, he actually laid him, he was standing up and he pushed him down into his stomach and sat on his hind
So you're saying the defendant
in
sat,
my dog.
okay, and what did he do after that?
He punched my dogs in the ribs continuously,
He
4 to 5 times
4 to 5 times.
at dog walk.
And do you know how many times, or actually, did he say anything when he said,
No,
and is that, you said it's your dog, correct?
yes, this is my dog. He has a dog bed too. His dog right in there underneath the bed. My name wasn't smart enough to hide because he didn't realize.
Okay, let's wait for a question.
And how is your dog doing today?
Seems emotionally screwed up. He was afraid of
I
it.
object to this line of testimony, speculation, expert testimony
Yeah, it seems like is pretty much grounds for a question not to be answered.
Understood that. So how does your dog roll in for the week?
Repeat the question.
I'll scratch that actually. Did your dog act differently after this?
Yes.
How?
He no longer ran to noises, he ran from them. He stared, jumping at sounds, and on land, because other goes at the sounds, that's one.
Did you notice any physical differences?
The first 2 days he did nothing but lay around. He didn't play with Thurgo, his tongue stopped king, and they're normally very high, quite very well, but he laid around for 2 days and did nothing, and that's not his first novel.
And when the defendant was, getting the dog over, how did the dog react?
He heard, in fact, the little reactor was he had to rush inside, and it was just bad.
After that, what?
After that, he gets up off my dog and again works out when he was heading back to the back bedroom. He went into the utility room, grabbed a bottle of fluid, knocked it over across my room, poured it all over it, tried lighting it, and said over the ditches up.
And now, moving on a little bit. How is Heather related?
It's his long-term girlfriend.
Now, have you had contact with the defendant since he's been convicted?
No, I have not.
Do you, to your knowledge, had contact with him since he?
Actually, calls are hearsay.
I meant,
I don't think that calls for hearsay.
so to your knowledge, do you know if Heather actually called him?
It's a yes or no question, ma'am. Ma'am, yes or no question.
Yes,
Do you know how many?
twice.
I don't heard.
Your witness, counsel.
Ms. Duchesne Moore,
Yeah.
I just have a couple questions for you. Now. This location at 6018
In West Maple.
West Maple, that is your apartment,
And it's my trailer.
it's your trailer, okay. And to be clear, Mr. Roche and Heather moved into your trailer in September of 25.
Yes.
Now, you mentioned, that you suffer from a disability.
Yes.
Okay.
Blood clotting disorder and lung disease.
Okay, and do you take, medications, for that disability?
Yes.
Okay, and of those medications, can I inquire if any of them, either painkillers or would have some sort of effect on your mental state? No?
I do it, I'm on painkillers, but they would not affect my mental.
Okay, so you are on painkillers,
Yeah.
and you were taking the painkillers that day?
No. Actually, my medication had came out missing. And
Okay, I just want to be very clear, let me roll this back. So it's your testimony that you were not taking any painkillers on November 3rd, 2025.
no, because they weren't,
Ma'am, no, yes or no. I don't need all the narrative.
But you were drinking that day, right?
No,
No, you weren't drinking any alcohol?
no, he was.
Well, we'll get into that. You were using marijuana,
Always.
always using marijuana.
Most people do.
And that-
obviously.
I'm not.
Ma'am, I don't need all the extra information.
Okay. Besides marijuana, any other drugs you're using that day? Okay. Now, you said that he was drinking.
Yeah.
Right, and you knew that he's visibly intoxicated.
Yes,
He's slurring his speech.
yes,
He's stumbling around.
Yeah.
Doesn't have good fine motor skills.
yes, he does, to my surprise. He wasn't drunk. He was drinking. There's a difference.
Okay, so it's your testimony that he actually wasn't drunk.
No, my testimony is he was drinking alcohol.
Okay, but you just testified that he was slurring his speech,
Hmm. When did I say that?
About a minute ago, we could have the court reporter read back. So is it you retracting that statement? He wasn't slurring his speech?
I don't recall saying he was slurring his speech.
Okay.
I said that he was drinking.
Now, you testified that at some point, he, as in Mr. Roche, had both of you by the neck.
Yes.
Okay, where were you in the living room? It's not-
On a love seat.
So you were sitting down on a love seat.
Well, she was sitting on the love seat. And I came to pull him off and he flipped me this way. I was standing beside him this way. With my back here and he flipped
Okay.
me this way.
Let me break this down. Heather is sitting on the love seat.
Yes,
You are not sitting on the love seat.
not yet.
Okay. Then at some point you come to sit on the love seat.
No, I get thrown onto the love seat.
Okay, at some point, your bottom is on the love seat.
Yes,
And that's the point at which he has both of his hands on each of your necks,
yes.
and then he lets go.
After us fighting them off, yes.
Okay. And then he leaves the room, right?
Well, the difference between our room and the kitchen is open is between here and there
He walks away from you and Heather.
for the first time.
Ma'am, just answer the damned questions.
Now, the police arrived after, this incident, correct?
No.
Oh.
There was more incidents before. that.
Okay, ultimately, the police arrived within a couple hours of this time.
No, it was 45 minutes.
Okay, so 45
Not
minutes later,
even.
the police arrived.
Not even 45 minutes.
So fair to say you spoke with the police that evening.
What?
You talked to the police that evening, fair to say?
Yes, I did.
And hang on, I'm going to ask you the questions here. Do you call 911 or did somebody else call 911?
Heather called 911 and then I called 911.
So there should be 2 calls to 911.
Yes, there is.
Okay, and ultimately, I think a handful of officers arrived, 2 or 3 officers,
2 officers, 3 officers, 2 paramedics.
and they arrest Mr. Roche.
Yes,
And then you and Heather are giving statements to the officers, right?
separately, yes.
Well, in fact, you and Heather are both seated in the living room while you're talking to the officers about what happened now.
Actually, they separated us.
Okay. And if I were, if I were
Don't
to body
see me
camera showing that you and Heather were in the same room, that footage would be that's not real.
We were in the same room, but when they were questioning us, like doing the witness statement, no.
Okay. And you give a written statement to them?
Yes,
Okay, and you sign that statement?
yes.
Now, after that evening, did you ever come into contact with the police again about this case, to talk about this case?
Only on the phone.
Okay, and can I ask, who did you speak with on the phone?
I cannot tell you the officer's name.
Okay, but you did talk to an officer on the phone. And when was that conversation? If you remember,
Years after that,
a couple days after?
yeah, the meeting just happened.
Okay, and then you also spoke with, the prosecutor, and you spoke with the officer, Officer Rice. And when you have this conversation with, let's start with, Detective Rice, was Heather there with you?
No,
And when you had a conversation with, Prosecutor Leckie, was Heather there with you?
no,
And when you spoke over the phone to whichever other Romulus PD or Van Buren PD, the Romulus?
Romulus.
Yeah. You spoke with them on your own. Just a moment there. I have no further questions.
Mr. Leckie,
Nothing further, Judge.
ma'am, you can step down, watch your step on my ramp. Next witness. Who's gonna get Heather?
Margaret Malley, okay.
Ms. Crowell, all the way up front. Ms. Crowell, raise your right hand. Swear or affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth today? Come on up here. Watch your step on this incline ramp. Settle in that chair. When you're ready, Mr. Lecky.
Good afternoon, Doug. Now, I'm gonna ask you to speak in this microphone, it's a recording microphone, and, right? Yes. So, I'm gonna ask you first, state and spell your name.
So my name, HGACSGR,
And do you know Mr. Sean
and the
is he here for?
previous,
How do you?
the,
Okay. So how do you, what's your relationship?
uh,
And then based on your statement of he's wearing the pink shirt, I'm gonna ask the record. Reflect the list.
Noted.
So were you in 601 West Maple, Verona, Michigan, 11-3 something? And were you there? Now, I understand there's a point in time in which, the 9 p.m. contact would be with that case, you were on the low seas, that would be, okay, tell us what happened.
so you see, he walked through the door, like he called. He would just say next to me, sitting there, I told him, I said, Sean, we fucked his family, that can save me. I don't know what was that on. He ended up. He. Like. Take that off.
Let's stop you just there. Take a second, I'm gonna ask another question, right? So you said his hands were around your neck, correct? Like this. So you're indicating both of his hands, correct? Okay. When he was struggling you, did you have struggle breathing?
I couldn't yell, I couldn't scream. The only thing.
No. I know you're finding it out, but I'm gonna need you to speak right in that. A little further.
I'm sorry, it's okay.
And so, now you mentioned valor, who's that?
And it's not about the name that was saying, but
So you both did. Or terms,
yeah.
okay. Now. What happened after these? Okay, you said valor comes out, correct?
Yes.
What happened after that?
Yelling came out, spoken talking. That thing I thought I looked over, he got her. Leaned up against both of his hands, like I was like my hand perfect.
And what happened after that?
I don't know how, I can't remember how she got, I know she was trying to kill him. To release. He then lets go. Pulled around here like this. I had a couple. And she. I played.
And after that,
He started throwing stuff. Crazy things. He goes into the kitchen. We got this town goes in, go back. He ended up going into the kitchen, opening up the door, the drawer, and he sat a knife. Finger.
and what did you do with that?
He did, like that.
So you're gesturing with your hand, your elbow bent with your hand out. And you're saying you punched your neck with it, then I like this, right? And now, how close is that?
It wasn't very close, it was like here,
And
it wasn't touching anything.
now. After that day, have you had?
He has calls. The
Your phone,
iPhone, his phone, because he doesn't have my phone number.
and have you answered that?
I know,
How many times did he call?
several.
And what does he tell you in those phones?
He told me that he's sorry, that he loved me, he doesn't remember what happened. That he does have a alcohol problem, and he wants to get out. He didn't also try to get me not to come today.
So I'm gonna break that down. So in some of these phone calls, he said he's sorry. What's he sorry for?
For what he did,
Meaning this incident?
yes.
And then on the other vein, you said he tried to get you not to come. How did he do that?
He called me, he said, please don't go, please talk to Val about my company.
And Val is so,
So then you have to say with Martin.
that's Valerie you talked about right now. So he's made statements to you about having you not come to court, saying about her. That's, I don't know for that.
Ms. Pilkowitz, your witness.
Briefly good. Ms. Crowell, Crowell,
Yeah.
you tell me what you prefer. Crowell, I just have a few questions for you, okay? You said that night that, Mr. Fox was drunk. Mr. Roche, wow, it's been a long week, it's only 3 days. That Sean, Mr. Roche was drunk. And it was your understanding he had just come back to the bar, right? And you knew he was drunk because he visibly intoxicated them. That includes things like slurring his speech, right? Wobbling around, yes, not having very good hand-eye coordination. And this is obviously not the first time that you've seen, Mr. Roche drink, or be drunk. And I can see that you're getting emotional, so take a minute if you need it.
Joe. That will give you the back doors and so.
And I'm not asking you to live in your, professional opinion, in your personal opinion, he has a drinking problem. He does. And we want him to get help. I do. Now, and by help, I mean treatment. Now, after, the day of this incident, had you yourself been drinking jail?
I don't know.
You don't, had you yourself been using dope?
No. I only do that and I totally sleep.
Okay, and, were you taking any other prescription medications at that time?
I don't.
Now, you said that Mr. Roche called several times, yes? And he actually called his own phone number. Did you answer his phone?
Yes, maybe I don't know my phone.
This might be an odd question, in the last 10 years, you have been, everybody kind involved with theft or dishonesty.
No. That's the. What is that?
And you never sought medical attention after this? Did you call 911 or did you,
I didn't call 911.
okay.
After I had done, went up to the kitchen, grabbed her phone.
And you saw her call 911? And then
Actually on the phone.
when they arrived? Okay, and about 2 or 3 police officers arrived.
Okay.
They arrested Mr. Roche. And then they, took statements from you. And when they're asking you about what happened, you guys are both sitting in the living room. And you're kind of telling them, what happened.
Yes.
Did you sign a written statement?
But
After that, you talked to the officer again about,
he came to the house to make.
let me pause, who's he, if you know?
Officer,
Was it this officer in the courtroom?
no,
Okay, a different officer. Was it one of the officers who responded?
he was on the scene.
Okay, and do you recall when that was?
About 9:30 we showed up.
When they came back, sorry.
Oh, the next day.
The next day? Okay. So one of the same police officers who responded around 9:30 p.m. came back the next day. And, did you have a conversation with him that day?
Yes,
About what happened?
yes. He had asked me if I would stop by his and make sure I was okay.
And was Val home?
She was, but she was napping.
Do you know if he talked to Val as well?
No, she didn't.
After that, did you ever speak with Officer Rice sitting right here, Detective Rice?
No,
Okay, and you spoke with the prosecutor today?
Yeah.
And have you spoken with him prior to this incident? Yes. Do you recall how many times?
About 2 or 3 times.
Just one moment, Tim.
Sure.
I have no further questions.
I don't even judge.
Ma'am, you can step down. Watch your step on my ramp. Next witness.
Officer Raina? Officer Raina. Go grab one. Or you want me?
Inspector Junior, come on up. Raise your right hand. Swear affirm that the information containing the affidavit is true to the best of your information knowledge and belief. Come on up. How you doing?
Good, how's it going?
Good. Do me a favor. Get it downstairs. Just ask one of the clerks. Make a copy. It's just, I don't, the affidavit, just the warrant itself. Tell them to get it up to me. Okay. Thank you. Be safe. Chris, come on up. Raise your right hand. Swear affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Settle it. When you're ready, Mr. Lecky.
You state your name for the record.
Officer Chris Rainer?
And Officer Raina, you're a police officer for what jurisdiction?
Right.
And were you called to a 601 West Maple, Roberts, Michigan on 11/3/2025 in the evening?
I was,
What were you called there for?
domestic involving, a possible domestic involvement.
And did you make contact, you went to the scene, did you make contact with any individual?
I did.
And who did you make contact with?
It was a Valerie, a Heather, and a Sean. Roche.
And when you made contact, did you do any basic investigation? What was going on? Okay, and what did you discover?
Before after he was arrested.
Before he was in custody, so you're saying, so based on that answer, someone was in custody, is that correct?
Right.
Okay, and how did that begin?
So we get the information that it's possible domestic with a knife involved, make contact at the house. I am met by, I'll be honest with you, I can't recall which female. One at the front door, or one at the, just outside the door, one just inside the door. We were advised originally that he may not have the knife. The way the house is set up, I kind of had to, we call it cutting a pie. I had to kind of like inch my way in to try to see where he was. Once I finally was able to get eyes on him, he is in the kitchen area. He's behind a counter that's about waist level, wearing a hoodie, hands in his pockets, can't see his hands. Giving him verbal commands. I need to see his hands because they verbally told me that that the knife was gone, but I can't confirm nor deny it at that time.
And you said it was a male individual?
Yeah.
Correct. And is that male individual present?
Just to.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Okay. And so you said you're verbally asking him to strike. You're verbally asking him to show you his hands, right? Okay. How many times did you ask?
Can't say for certain, but for more.
3 or more? Okay, and does he comply?
Yeah.
Okay, and what action do you take then?
So he actually got a little bit more aggressive. He, with one hand, where the counter is, he's standing up, it's covering his waist. He swipes a bunch of items, across the counter. Again, you and I know that in a kitchen area, what do you find in that area? Knives. So once he does that, he becomes more aggressive after I give him the verbal commands. I advised him, I'd be honest with you, I actually advised him I was gonna shoot him because I didn't know what was happening at the time. But I decided to go to my secondary weapon and I was able to.
And you did, okay, you did take him.
Yeah.
And you say you're feeling more aggressive, what did you do?
That's, so when I advised him to show me his hand, instead of just showing me his hands like most individuals would, he aggressively swipes items while staring at me. Which appears in that manner, then he's becoming more aggressive, more agitated with me, and completely disregarding what I was asking him to do.
I'm not the
It's Officer Rand.
Yeah.
You responded on November 3rd of 25 to the location, correct?
If that, of course.
Did you ever go back to that location?
Yeah.
Okay, when did you go back to that location?
Couple weeks later,
A couple weeks later.
Yeah.
What was the nature of that call?
There was no call.
Okay, so check on the victim.
Yep.
Did you speak with the victim?
I did.
Did you prepare a report?
Did I prepare a report?
Yeah,
No.
okay, so, I mean, she's a witness in a prosecution, correct? And you're familiar with the Brown Police Department policies, yes? And so whenever you're speaking with a witness, you should document that in report.
Not if it's not of any nature like that, ma'am. I went to basically consult with the victim of a domestic to make sure that she was.
So you went there in your personal capacity or were you dressed in uniform?
I was in uniform.
Body cam was activated?
I possibly, I don't recall if I turned a body cam on to speak with a victim to see if she was okay.
Um, Is that the only other time that you went to the location?
Yes.
As it pertains to this case? With my, sorry, I should clarify.
Since the day that it happened, yes, it's the only.
No further question.
You sit down, Chris. Be safe. No, you're good. Oh, I said be safe.
Oh.
Happy Thanksgiving too. Next witness.
One brief last witness, Detective, Detective.
Detective, raise your right hand, swear affirm, tell the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth. Settle in. Yep. Yep. Thank you. When you're ready, Mr. Lecky.
So Detective Rex, are you connected with a case? Well, first of all, you're a detective, what is it?
Detectives, a lot of things, but in this case, it's someone that investigates crimes that from a patrol level that with the next step that takes further investigations. This case follows calling the court process.
Okay. And as a part of that, what duties are you involved in? And going into the.
Actually, in this case, there was an arrest made. It's my job to put together an investigative report, submit that down to the prosecutor, investigate, and then submit it for charges. And then once they come back, follow through to where we're here now.
And in this case, are you involved with the booking process?
I am.
Okay, and describe that for.
So in this case, I'm not normally in charge of like formally fingerprinting and booking them. In this case, the defendant was brought in the evening. He had given the officers, when it came to my desk, it said it'd give him a hard time as far as like wanting to be processed, which is fingerprinting. I need that stuff to, when I submit that to a prosecutor, they want that. It's called a live scan, which in technical terms is just his fingerprints, his basically his identification stuff. That wasn't done due to his, according to the officers, his being aggravated. The bosses said that he just was not complying with anything. So before I started my investigation, I make it a habit to try and either interview them or just speak to them. In this case, I spoke to him that morning, probably 8, 9 o'clock in the morning when I got in to see if he would let me process him, because that's the only way I could follow through with him. He basically told me in so many words, it's probably on video, basically fuck off, spare my language. I'm not, go ahead and do what you gotta do, I'll fight you. You know, I never shy away, but in this case, it said it's too early in the morning. So I did not, he was never processed that I know of, prior to this, where he is now.
And the processing is his basis of refusal.
Correct. It's a requirement that, for them to go to Wayne County Jail and they have, basically put their ID into the system.
And in your estimate, do you know how other times you asked him to do that?
A couple, and basically explained to him, look, this is what I do, you don't get this, you may not get out, this hinders your process to get out of here. You need to be defined, you don't have to wait.
Nothing wrong with it.
Counsel, your witness. You can step down. Any other prosecution witnesses? Ms. Pilkowitz, any defense witnesses? I'm ready for argument.
So I'm going to reserve for rebuttal on council on group 5.
Thank you.
I do briefly want to just discuss the
Amended? Go ahead.
after 1 second, I'm just gonna, I told defense I provide.
Sure.
Statutory language. I have the other. map.
Yeah, and I have the jury instruction.
Okay, yeah. So speaking of jury instruction, let's start with animal, first degree killing or torturing of a companion animal. According to the jury instructions, I have to prove that the defendant intentionally, intent, I'm gonna argue is inferred intent based on his action where he, we heard testimony, he sat on the dog and started punching it in the ribs. He has to intentionally torture, mutilate, maim, or disfigure. I'm going to submit to the court that torturing, was done in this case. He pushed this animal over, he sat on top of it, and started beating it on the ribs about 4 or 5 times. And secondly, the people have to prove that, the defendant tortured the animal. It wasn't a companion animal, it was, as we heard, witness Valerie's pet. Companion animal is commonly considered to be a pet or considered by the complainant to be a pet, which it was in this case. Third, we have to prove that it caused mental anguish or distress. We saw that complainant who did get emotional about talking about the majority of that, get a little bit emotional when she was talking about the pet, injured. So I think the people have met that, standard by a probable cause, I'm sorry. We have met those elements by a probable cause standard. The additional domestic violence count, I mean, we heard about the assaults, through the strangulation. And it came out that the defendant lived with her for about 3 months, so I think the domestic violence is appropriate. It would be a third offense, which is why I have to argue it now. It actually technically is a seventh offense, but we only go up to 3. And count 8 is interfering with the witness. We have to prove that the individual was testifying. Heather did come and testify, Judge. Second, that the defendant impeded, interfered, or prevented to, or attempted to interfere, prevent, or obstruct from attending, testifying, or providing a. We've heard a testimony. Or I'm sorry. Third, that the defendant intended to impede. His intention via this conversation with Heather saying, you know, don't come to court. I don't want you or Valerie to come to this court hearing. And fourth, that the proceeding was a criminal case charging the crime with maximum punishment of 1 to 10 years. Both gross bodily harm charges that he's currently charged with are over 10 years. So I think he met all of those charges beyond, or all those elements of the additional charges as well as the current charges beyond the probable cause.
Ms. Pickwood.
Your Honor, the defense objects to the bind over, of all counts and the additional counts, but I want to focus on that argument with regard to, the potential added counts. Judge, this is actually the first case in my 6 or 7 years of doing this where there's even an argument or an attempt to introduce an animal torture on this type of allegation. What we have here is a claim that my client punched a dog. That hardly rises to the level of killed, tortured, mutilated, maimed, or disfigured a dog. What the allegations amount to, even if we're, giving the prosecution all of the benefit of the doubt, assuming as true what this witness is saying, it's an A and B on a dog. It's assault and battery. He punched a dog. He didn't torture or kill or maim. So I don't even think by a probable cause standard that there's any justification for binding over on this 10-year felony, which would be comparable to the bind over on the GBH, Judge. I think that, quite frankly, on this record, it's a bit ridiculous. So I'm asking the court to decline to bind over on that. With regard to witness tampering or interference, Judge, the claim was that my client called his own cell phone and that the witness picked up.
Well, he knew he wasn't calling himself.
He knew he wasn't calling himself. However, people can call their phones from jail for various reasons. I don't think that's speculative to see if your phone is still working, to see if it's operable, see who has access to it. Perhaps someone stole it, who knows? But all of that to say is her testimony was that he said, please don't do it. Again, Judge, I don't even think it's a question of fact as to whether that rises to the level of witness tampering. This is not a situation of, nonstop phone calls, threats, or things of that nature. It's very sparse. And so for those reasons, Judge, I'm asking the court not to add those 2 counts with regard to the remaining counts. We'll object to that argument.
All right, Mr. Lecky.
Briefly, when it comes to an animal, I mean, it's not just one component. Sat on top of the animal.
You can stop. You're not going to get me there.
And on the witness intimidation as itself, she did say there were multiple phone calls.
2. I think she said 2.
We didn't ask.
No, you're right.
We didn't ask Heather how many there were.
Duchesne said 2.
but there are multiple, I know it's not on this record, but more than once where he's saying those statements. You know, all it takes is once, in this people's possession to effectuate some kind of tampering. He literally stated, don't come to court.
Do the jury instructions require any kind of a threatening language or intimidating language?
That's where I was at. They don't specifically say, so, because there's multiple, I'm sorry. There's
Go ahead, I'll.
I'll give you a chance, counsel.
instructions that involve, there's interfering, there's intimidating, there's threatening. I am specifically going for interfering with witness intimidation, which, specifically requires that intended to impede, interfere with, or prevent friendship. I think that.
I think a begging phone call fits that definition, Ms. Pankowski. But I'll give you a chance to argue that.
Yeah, I just, can you clarify which tactic you're relying on, just like,
Yeah.
the statute is?
So it's technically MCL 750.122. And then it's subheading, subsection 3, B and C, but the criminal jury instruction is 37.5.
Well, if we're looking at the same language.
Attorney on these two companies.
People that represented, that they're pursuing it under subject.
Hold on, I think.
And yes, that's required. A person shall not do any of the following by threat or intimidation. So, and discourage or attempt, et cetera. So if that's the language that the people are in fact relying on, no, I don't think there's been any evidence in this record concerning any threats or intimidation. So simply a statement, don't come to court alone is insufficient, to justify a binding verdict on this subsection statute.
And Judge, if I may, I'm referring to section B or C, which requires an influence or an attempt to influence or an encouragement or attempt to encourage.
And that's fair. It's predicated on a person shall not do any of the following by threat or intimidation. So, I mean, it's.
All right, somebody bring me the language, because obviously you two aren't reading the same thing. No, I don't mind, yeah. Or just give me the number. I got the jury instructions right here.
It's 750, or I don't know,
Okay, I'll find.
I just had the jury instruction.
750.
Hold on, he's got it on paper. I love paper.
I know, Judge, that's why I always have to be clear.
Well, but does that clarify that it's under subsection 3?
So.
It doesn't.
It says criminal jury instruction 37.5A, interfering with
Under,
witness.
this is the section.
Yes, but now for purposes of the information, if his basis and my client titled.
Consent code is generally just 122. It doesn't go into that, but I'm referring.
To, right, and so the actual language of the statute, to be clear, says a person shall not do any of the following by threat or intimidation. Do we agree on that? In subsection 3, yes.
So the statute requires we start with threat or intimidation 2, and then the
Correct.
options, what they're trying to do with the threat or intimidation.
Correct.
Mr.
And then the
Leckie?
options include
Hold
candidly.
on. Mr. Leckie, you agree that that's the way the statute reads?
I'll agree, and I'll also include that intimidating behavior is calling multiple times. So I'll agree with this.
Good try. All right, anything else?
No.
All right, I'm binding over on counts 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the added count 7. I'm not binding over on 6 and 8 as requested by the prosecution. AOI date is next week at 9 a.m. Anything as to bond?
Well,
12-3. That's the AOI, 12-3. What'd I say? Okay. Anything else? Good luck downtown, Mr. Roche.
oh, briefly, just
Go ahead.
like the defendant's own privileges to be revoked or released. His number and the explaining witness Heather and Valerie.
Do we have the ability to just block numbers? Then I will order that his number be blocked.
Both the victims.
Well, Heather said twice that he didn't know her number, so. And there's no allegation he called anybody else improperly. Would you provide, Oh, you got it. You're all right. You got. We don't need statute numbers. We just added the domestic. We're all right. Yep.
Hey, thanks for watching. Please do let us know in the comments what you thought of this video. If you'd like to support what we do here, the best way to do it is to pick up some of our merch. You can find it at courtroomfiles.com.